Alright, this is VG8259 again, and today we're going to be doing another Transformers review, and today I've got Sideswipe from the yet-to-be-released Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. And all the major retail stores over the past weekend released all their stocks of the Revenge of the Fallen figures, and right now I'm trying to save my money up for a trip, so unfortunately I could only buy one figure, and I chose Sideswipe just because ever since his design came out months and months ago, I thought, wow, this is a really cool looking Transformer. So I got him, and he is the new Chevrolet Stingray Corvette that's coming out next year, I think. Actually, I have no idea when it's coming out, but soon. Similar to how the first movie had the concept Corvette Camaro. Right off the bat, his vehicle mode, I like the clear blue windows. That was a nice touch. I can't stand painted windows. And unlike the first movie, the Jazz figure was molded in kind of a silvery metallic gray plastic, and it looked really bad in my opinion. With Sideswipe, Hasbro actually took the effort to paint the entire car silver, so I was definitely really pleased with that. And it's got some nice detail on it. The only complaint I have about the car mode is that it's got panel lines all over it from the transformation, going down the middle of the hood, all over the door and the back. But then again, with a figure of this size, it's really kind of hard to avoid something like that. So I guess I'll just let that slide. So let's get into the transformation. Now the thing about these movie Transformers is that they are not very easy to transform. I know the first time I transformed Sideswipe, it took me like half an hour to do it. So I'm going to start with the legs first. The instructions say start with the upper half of the body, but when I get a Transformer, I try my best to transform him without using the instructions first. And this is how I want Sideswipe, doing the legs first. Anyway, there we go. The legs are pretty much done. I get these doors out of the way, and I'm going to raise the camera up a bit. I'm going to pull the arms out from under the back of the car, and I guess we'll go ahead and flip out the hands while we're doing that. Let's see. Pull out the torso, and his hood, the front and back windshields are kind of difficult. They don't really agree with each other too much, and I can't really figure out why they don't want to move the way they're supposed to sometimes. I keep looking for something that's catching or getting in the way, but I've yet to find it. And both of his doors just fell off, but that's okay, we can put those back. And there we go. Kind of bend the arms out of the way. Snap the torso into place, which exposes the head. I'm going to put these doors back on. Let's see, this one goes on this side, and this one on this side. The only real complaint with the movie figures in general I have is that they tend to have a lot of kibble. That is, like a lot of pieces just hanging off that don't really serve much of a purpose. But I guess you have to take the good with the bad, so still doesn't stop it from being a really nice looking figure. And there we go, we've got Sideswipe. Really nice looking robot mode in my opinion, especially his head. I think Sideswipe's got a really nice head design. His forehead, and he's got that little beard almost like a Gundam. And yeah, color is pretty much the same as he was in car mode. He's got some kind of a metallic gray silverish plastic instead of actually being painted silver. See, this is the color right here that the Jazz was in the first movie figure series, and I think later they released a version of him that was actually painted silver, but the initial one was this color. Megatron was this color in the first movie, and the figure's that color in the Revenge of the Fallen as well. I was kind of disappointed. If I do get a leader class Megatron, I may have to paint him myself. Anyway, for articulation, he's got ball joint shoulders, but the motion is kind of restricted by the back of the vehicle here, so I can go up about that far and rotate 360. He's got a double jointed elbow. It can bend not quite 180. And of course you saw his hands can fold in and out. And his weapons are already on his arms. You can see here the doors split and swing around and form little blades he can use to fight with. And it does that, of course, on both hands. The head is on a ball joint, so it can go up and down, and it can rotate 360. And he's got a little bit of light piping in the eyes, although it's not very effective. You can't really, let's see if we can, you can just barely see the light piping at all. Anyway, the little car door wings, I guess, can kind of go in and out and up and down. He doesn't have any waist articulation, but his legs are really cool because Hasbro did this thing where they call it Mech Alive, which is some kind of little gimmick they're using on the Revenge of the Fallen figures, but actually it's pretty cool because it gives you lots of little moving parts. Like these 4 pistons in the hip joint are made of, I don't know if it's rubber or if it's just a really soft plastic, but they move around. Snapped his torso out of place. They move around when you move the legs, so it's just really, really cool looking. They even slide. This lower one slides back and forth when you move the leg out. So I just thought that was a really nice attention to detail. And he's actually got a double jointed hip joint back here. You can barely see it, but it's a ball joint, so it can move around pretty freely. And also he's got some moving parts when he bends his knees. So when he bends it, this little clear blue piece slides out. Not really functional, but it still looks cool. And he's got a piston on the back of his leg that goes in and out when he bends his knee as well. And of course his feet can go tilt up and down. My only complaint about this figure in robot mode is the fact that he has wheels for feet, which in the movie, you know, that allows him to race around really fast, but as an action figure, he will not stand up for anything. I mean, I think maybe once I've gotten him to actually stand up. See, there we go. It's very, very difficult. Oh wait, yeah. It's just really hard to get him to stand up without leaning against something because he has wheels for feet. So if you've got like a little action figure stand from some other figure, you might want to use that on him, or just prop him up against a wall or a bookshelf or something. But other than that, I am really, really pleased with this figure. This is definitely $10 well spent. And I'm not sure if the exhaust pipes back here are supposed to be grenade launchers or what, but they kind of go in and out. It didn't really explain that in the instructions, so I guess when the movie comes out later this month, we'll find out what those are actually for. Anyway, yeah, this is definitely a good figure. Really nice paint job, really nice sculpting, really nice detail. The articulation is good. Weapons and accessories are not this figure's strong point because obviously he just has these 2 blades on his arms. I kind of would have liked it if he'd had a gun or a missile launcher of some sort. But as far as I can say, overall, the only down point of this figure is the feet. So definitely try and go out and buy one if you can. There should be plenty on the shelves right now, so go and pick one up before everybody else gets them.